So today here I am with the Yeni Dunya Turkish watermelon variety. So this variety originates from Turkey. Um, the last time I grew it, it performed excellent as a winter melon or a fall harvested watermelon, and it lasted all the way to Christmas. That's when I had my last melon, was up to Christmas, but I believe it could have been a little bit into January. But basically I harvested the melon in like November or something like that, early November. Late November or early December or something like that. But it basically lasted until wintertime, and it had much more shelf life than when at the time than when I cut it open. So I could have left it longer than the time it was actually. I could have left it off of the plant longer than I actually did. So I'm just gonna transplant these seedlings into some containers. I'm gonna fill in some more containers and put them here. I'm gonna transplant to these containers, establish them a little bit, and then I'm gonna do another transplant, and I'm gonna bring the seedlings to my farm. So over here in my garden is where I get things prepped up and whatnot. But basically I've just been planting so many varieties that I now have to start relocating varieties onto the farm now, because I'm trying to basically maintain. I want to grow all these varieties and still be able to save seeds. So I'm trying to maintain a good patch of each variety. So this is one of the seedlings here for Yeni Dunya. Transplanting from seeds to napkin. Planting seeds on napkin, then transplanting them from napkin. The care is simple. You just want to make sure that you are keeping those seedlings watered for the first couple of days, because they aren't as strong as a seedling would be when it just directly sprouts in the sunlight. So you can actually dry your seedlings out if you think just because they're fresh seedlings. You can dry them out if you think just because they're fresh seedlings, and they should have some sun tolerance. Like if you sprout a seedling outside, they tend to show sun tolerance. I'm not sure if you noticed that. They tend to show sun tolerance. It's only when you sprout them inside and then bring them outside, all of a sudden they don't have the tolerance. I believe that seeds are, when they germinate, I believe they have some type of sunblock capabilities, but they lose it over time. Another thing I noticed when starting seeds on napkins, you can see how some of that has mold on it. Basically, when the seeds are dried off, if they aren't cleaned all the way, there's still some soluble solids left on the seed casing, and that can mold up if it's in the airless environment, like with the germinating with napkins. So you can see a few of those seed cases have mold on them. I just pull that off, no issues. The heat out here would definitely kill it off. That sunlight. But I don't want my soil to dry out. So I have to find balance between, and just so my seedlings don't die off from any mold. I never had any mold issues before as far as seedlings dying off. But I always see mold forming on some varieties. For some varieties, it's just not avoidable because they have they create a lot of nutrients. If a variety makes a lot of, if it has a highly nutritious or a high bricks, it's probably gonna make mold on the seed casings. So that's a rule of thumb you can go by. High bricks varieties most likely may make mold if the seeds aren't cleaned properly. So all of this is from saved seed that I hand pollinated. And I very much look forward to enjoying this winter. I'm planting this variety. We're in June right now, basically in mid-June. Well, I'm gonna have a lot of watermelons this year. I'll make sure to protect from the deer, have some electric fence and whatnot that I need to install. You can see that brownish color is developing on the roots. That's why I wanted to hurry up and transplant Yeni Dunya, because if I would have left it a little longer, the seedlings would have started dampening off and dying off. Now, when the roots are real, I'm not saying that these roots aren't healthy, but they've been sitting for longer than expected indoors. Now, when the roots are real healthy, before they start dying off, they will have a white color. So this is a real healthy root system. When it starts dying off, it starts turning that yellowish orange color or whatever. I should say when it starts dampening off. Like here's one that dampened off. The leaves, the neck goes soft and the leaves fall off, and that's basically an example of a seedling that goes through that experience. This one here has a bunch of napkin and stuff. I'm just gonna plant it like that. So I like germinating on napkins because I can take all the valuable seeds or valuable seedlings and immediately transplant those to where I need them and have all the spaces already filled in that I plan on planting. Now when I don't, hold on, I'm trying to separate these roots. Am I seeing over here? No. So now I'm on to this container set. Right, forgot where I was, but y'all can see how that orange color, that's when it's just starting to die off. So I'm still good. I'm in a safe zone right now with Yeni Dunya. With Desert King, I'm gonna sow Desert King over here in the garden because I don't have as many seedlings of Desert King, so I should be able to fit it in this garden over here. Planting Yeni Dunya in June for an October or November harvest. See, get some empty containers. I'm gonna start filling these in for a quick moment. Only have a couple of more seedlings left. What's your favorite watermelon variety? Comment below. What's your favorite? What are you starting this year? Are you starting any new releases? Are you starting an old school variety that you just love growing every year? Let me know down below. I'm starting Yeni Dunya because it's a winter watermelon. And basically I want that to carry me through the winter time. I'm starting Desert King because Desert King also is said to have good storage potential. So I wanna be able to have a bunch of watermelons on hand, but I don't want to have to eat them all at one time. But at the same time, Desert King is also said to be a very sweet variety. It's basically a 5-star variety on Baker Creek's website, which is where I got the seeds from. Everybody that purchased the variety and grew it says that it's an excellent variety. So I'm looking forward to growing Desert King and trying it out. And it's also a yellow watermelon. So this is an example of a seedling that's dampening off. The neck starts going soft. This cannot be saved. So we're just gonna throw that. That can't be saved at all. It's a good one. This is a small seedling. When they're small like that, this is actually the best time to plant them. It's not good to wait for them to get long like I did. Mine basically weren't in sunlight, so that's why my stems are so long. No problem. You can plant them a little deeper, or you can plant them shallow. I'm planting them shallow. I don't really mind the long stem. It's gonna vine out anyway. So I basically planted just enough so that stem could stand up a little bit. Let's see, what other watermelon varieties do I have growing right now? I started some melon varieties. I have Harumadu melon, which is a variety from India. I started that variety because it's known to be extremely sweet in India. Hasn't been grown in the U.S. as far as I know. Well, it hasn't been grown by home gardeners. I'm pretty sure Baker Creek has grown it out if they're offering it this season. I'm pretty sure they grew it out last season to trial it. It's like the stems are getting longer and longer. But Harumadu is known to be very sweet, just like Kajari melon, which is a melon I've tried, and I can vouch for Kajari melon, especially when you harvest it at the correct time. So if you follow my video for Kajari melon, the overview and ripening signs video, you will see the perfect timing to harvest Kajari melon, and you will see what I mean by that melon being super sweet. Oh, I broke this one off. Not sure how I did that. Plenty more where that came from. So, Kajari melon. I also have Madu Rock growing, and I'm growing that for the same reason as I grow, or for the same reason that I like Kajari melon. Haven't tried Madu Rock yet, but I plan to try it within 80 days, or really 70 days, because it should have been planted. Plants should be about 2 weeks now. I'll get some more dirt in these containers. We're basically toward the end. Just have a couple of more Yeni Dunya seedlings left. I'm also growing the Yeni Dunya variety out for 2 seeds in a pod. Heirloom Seed Company. I hope to be able to provide seed to their company, and, so they can be able to provide it to home gardeners or farmers. So I'd like to grow different varieties for different seed companies to help aid them on their missions. And it also, I just like building the relations with the different seed companies, like with Seed Savers Exchange. Also, they have seed programs where you can let them know that you'll grow certain varieties for them, and they'll provide seed for that species, or not certain varieties, but let them know you'll grow certain species for them, and they'll provide seed for that species of certain varieties that they need resurrected, but they may not be able to grow so well in their own climates. So that's where we gardeners come in at. Or sometimes they just don't have the space. They probably can grow it in their climate, but they just don't have the space because they're growing so many other unique heirlooms, because there's just so many different heirlooms we can grow in general to begin with, right? There's no limit on how many heirlooms are available to gardeners. We can breed new heirlooms daily. So the heirlooms that have been bred back in the day, that's what we're actually trying to resurrect. We're not trying to resurrect anything new, anything that was newly created. We're trying to resurrect what's been here since the times of the BCs, before Christ. We're trying to resurrect foods that came around at the beginning of the ADs after Christ, or foods that just have been around for the last couple of centuries and are beginning to go extinct. Different things like that. Alright, looks like I'm toward the end of the napkin here. Just a couple seedlings left. I've talked to y'all through this whole thing. Hopefully I didn't bore y'all too much. Oops. I just know that people like growing watermelons though, so I absolutely love growing watermelons, so I know other people must like growing watermelons too. So I'm just always so enthralled to talk about watermelons and the types we're able to grow. I just love talking about the different phenotypes of certain varieties, all that. I love land race type varieties for that reason. So yeah, that's Yeni Dunya. I'm gonna go fetch a pail of water. Give me one moment. Alright, so I have my pail of water. I'm just gonna fill it in for a quick moment. And we're ready to water. Okay. So that's Yeni Dunya. We all just transplanted together. Growing this variety out in hopes that 2 seeds in a pod will be able to receive seed from me at the end of the season if the harvest goes well. Plenty of plants here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 and 6. So 16 nicely grown seedlings here. I'm gonna finish watering these in, then I'm about to start working on Desert King. See y'all in the next one. I don't think I need to water these because the soils rained on a couple hours ago. Yeni Dunya Turkish winter watermelon variety.